Hello and welcome to Driving with Todd, and I'm Todd. And we're going to do a request. The request comes in from a YouTuber that goes by the name of 428 Chase. And 428 Chase wrote quite a lengthy comment, so I'm going to kind of paraphrase parts of the comment to get to the request. Now, he starts out by saying, I love Manfred Mann's Earth Band. He bought an LP for one song called Spirits in the Night. And that's a great song. I mean, they do a cover of a Bruce Springsteen song, and it's dynamite. But ended up liking the whole thing, Manfred Mann's Earth Band album called Nightingales and Bombers. Now, I didn't own that album, so this is all new to me. But once again, I try to draw your attention to one song, mainly because of the small story behind it. It's an instrumental, but worth a listen. I don't remember that I paid much attention to the end of the song, but since seeing the backstory, I definitely tuned in to hear what they were talking about, and I hope you will too. The song is As Above, So Below. 428 continues by quoting Manfred Mann from 1975. Manfred Mann says, the title of this album was inspired by a recording made in Surrey, England during the Second World War by an ornithologist intending to record nightingales. The bombers flew over at the same time and were recorded by accident. The recording has been incorporated in As Above, So Below. 428 Chase continues by saying, in fact, the recording was made on May of 1942 by a BBC sound engineer for the BBC, intending to capture the Nightingale song. To capture the Nightingale song, he also, by accident, recorded the sound of RAF bombers on their way to attack Mannheim, Germany. So this is in the song As Above, So Below. 428 Chase continues to say that I was also confused about it, that at the same time, because the LP also had a song called Nightingales and Bombers, why didn't they use the said recording for that song? Then I concluded to myself, because As Above, So Below, bombers above, nightingales below. So that's kind of a cool thought process. Well, I went to Wikipedia to take a look at the album Nightingales and Bombers, and they noted as well, they gave another fact about those bombers that flew over. There were 197 RAF bombers in that flight. It says in the raid, 197 planes were dispatched and 12 were lost. They continue to say that the song As Above, So Below is edited from a jam session that the band played in the middle of a 16-minute live version of the mighty Quinn. Now that was actually a Manfred Mann song, not a Manfred Mann Earth Band song, that Manfred Mann covered in 1968 from a Bob Dylan song. This was recorded at the Marquee in London on December 18, 1973. This recording was then overdubbed with sound effects, such as the aforementioned Nightingales and Bombers, and reversed female vocalists. So this will be kind of interesting. I'm real interested in hearing the sound effects of Nightingales and Bombers in As Above, So Below. So here we go with that particular song. Okay, this is pretty good. I like this a lot. Now, I only own one Manfred Mann Earth Band album, one Manfred Mann's Earth Band album in the 70s, and that was Messin. And I bought it for the song Messin because I love that song. But the album was really, really good. And I'm surprised I didn't buy more Manfred Mann albums. I did, I take it back, I did buy The Roaring Silence as well, which came out, I think, in 1976, maybe. Um, but those are the two Manfred Mann albums that I bought. But the thing is because it's Manfred Mann, it's very heavy keyboards because he's a keyboard player, and this is very much what I would expect Manfred Mann to do in a jam, where there's some synthesizer rolling around in there, but he's funking out on the keyboards, and he's got this kind of like soul jazz sound to his keyboard playing, and you don't hear much else. I mean, there's a heavy bass in there. There's some drumming where they're more like hitting the cymbals very softly, and maybe the snare drum. A little bit of guitar in the background as well, but it's basically keyboards, and that's what I would expect from Manfred Mann's Earth Band. But this is a pretty good jam so far. So let's keep on going on this thing. Okay, a little bit of lead guitar in there. All right, we get some guitar in there at about 3 minutes of the song. That sounds pretty good. A little bit of fuzzed out guitar. Ooh, that ending's kind of spooky, kind of spooky. Thinking back, that's from 1942. So they went from like the fuzzed guitar and heavy keyboards, and then the female vocals came in, the background female vocals came in, and this is all edited at the end of this instrumental. And then you could start hearing, as the female vocal started to fade out, you could hear the heavy drone of those 197 RAF bombers being recorded, and with the nightingale singing. Wow, that's kind of bizarre. I mean, thinking that, okay, we've got two pieces of history here. We've got a soundtrack that was made in May of 1942 in UK of Nightingales, but then capturing RAF bombers flying to Germany. I mean, think about that. Think about that history. And then we have the history of the song The Mighty Quinn, a 16-minute version of The Mighty Quinn being performed in 1973, and then taking a section of that particular jam session from that song and making a completely different song out of it by remixing it and putting these other edits onto the piece. Just really, really remarkable. But I want to take this back again. I want to play those bombers again. That is just very, very unique. And that is part of history. Wow. Here we go. Wow. Incredible. Incredible. Really interesting song. Very interesting song. Good recommendation. I enjoyed this a lot. I like Manfred Mann. I've got all of the Manfred Mann albums from the 60s. Like I said, I had a couple of their albums in the 70s. Very, very talented group. And this is Mann's Earth Band is actually the third generation of the Manfred Mann groups. So this was like the third generation of that group. Just very powerful group. I enjoyed this. This was really, really good. Good recommendation from 428 Chase. I hope everybody out there enjoyed it as much as I did. If you did, hit that like button. That'd be really cool. If you have any comments about Manfred Mann's Earth Band, the song As Above, So Below, put it in the comments below. That'd be really appreciated. I'll also put the link to this video in the notes below. So if you want to go back and just watch the video without me interrupting it, which you may want to do, please do that. And then if you can, subscribe to the person's channel that uploaded this video to support that particular channel. And if you haven't done so, support my channel too by subscribing to it. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. And if you go over here and ring that bell, you'll get updates to my latest videos. This was interesting. Just cool how they put this together, how Manfred Mann's Earth Band put this together. Very, very interesting. Put a big smile on my face. I hope it put a big smile on your face. And peace out, baby.